Greetings and welcome to Phantom Fables, where every tale haunts the imagination. This is the tale of Zombie Cabin, Halloween in the Woods. It was Halloween night and Katie and her friends were headed to an abandoned cabin deep in the woods for a costume party. Katie was dressed up as a witch, her best friend Sarah was a vampire, and their other friends were zombies, ghosts, and other spooky characters. As they drove down the winding dirt road surrounded by trees, Katie started to feel uneasy. It was getting dark and there was a fog rolling in, obscuring their view. When they arrived at the cabin, all the lights were off. "That's weird," Katie said, as they approached the front door. The inside of the cabin was covered in cobwebs and dust. Old furniture was scattered around the large front room. Katie flicked on a flashlight and scanned the room. A noise came from the back of the cabin, like something being dragged across the floor. Katie spun around, her pulse quickening. "Relax, it's just the wind," Sarah said, but she didn't sound convinced. More noises continued as Katie's friends searched the house for any signs of other party guests. But the cabin was deserted. Katie was starting to suggest they leave when the front door slammed shut. She ran over and tugged on it, but it wouldn't budge. "Very funny, guys. Now open the door," Katie said, trying to keep her voice steady. But her friends looked terrified. Then the flickering flashlight began to dim. Katie smacked it, trying to keep the light on. In the dim glow, she could see a figure shambling out of the shadows toward them. It looked like a zombie, but it was hard to tell in the fading light. Katie and her friends scrambled toward the back door, but it was locked tight. The zombie drew closer as the flashlight continued to fade. Katie's heart pounded in her chest. This was no costume. Just as the light died completely, the zombie lunged toward them, Katie's screams piercing the night air. Katie fumbled in the dark, trying to get away from the zombie's grasp. She could hear it snarling and the screams of her friends surrounding her. Suddenly, a bright light flooded the room. Katie shielded her eyes and saw a tall figure standing in the now open front doorway, holding a lantern. It was a man wearing dirty clothing, with wild hair and eyes. "Get out while you still can," he shouted at them. Katie and her friends wasted no time rushing toward the exit. But the zombie was blocking their path. The man lunged forward, holding a machete, and stabbed the zombie through the heart. It let out an unearthly wail before falling to the ground. "Hurry, there could be more of them," the strange man said. Katie wanted to ask who he was and what was happening, but she could hear ominous noises from the surrounding woods. They all ran out the door and didn't stop until they reached the cars. Katie's hands shook as she tried to start the engine. Sarah spoke up, "Let's get out of here and call the police once we get back into town. I have no idea who that guy was, but he clearly knew what was going on here." Katie stepped on the gas, speeding down the dirt road away from the horrors they had witnessed in the abandoned cabin. She glanced back in the rear-view mirror, half expecting to see the wild-eyed man or more zombies following behind them. But the road was empty and the woods were silent once more. If you enjoyed this tale, please like and comment on the video. If you want more scary stories, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, let your imagination haunt you.